Mm. Alrighty. It is 12, a little bit after, and we are excited to be here. This is another episode of Accelerating Your Journey with Consciousness Ascending. This is a Consciousness Ascending production. My name is Benny Ferguson. I channel the non physical collective known as Abraham. I have been channeling since 2012, Abraham shortly after, and we are excited to be here. We are excited to be of support for those of you who are here now live who will support us in creating this interaction with your energies. We are excited to be of support for those of you who have found this recording. If you find value and this is your first time, be sure to subscribe. Check the description for how you can connect with us further and deeper. We have conscious discussions, which are live conversations via Zoom that you can register for. We offer private sessions for which the investment for those is what you deem in relationship to the value that you receive after the session. So, no, there should be no hesitation to schedule and get in that level of personal, private support. And we offer a private community, which is an all inclusive environment where you will find everything that you need, including us consistently in communication with you through our private Facebook group, through our weekly question and answer sessions, through email and other venues in which we are constantly available to answer your questions and be of support and accelerate the process. Not only that, you are a part of a community of individuals who are on the exact same path, not in the same place, but on the exact same path from which you will also receive support tremendously. And also, you are able to grow from their experiences, which serves to accelerate the process as well. Again, we're thankful to be here. This is Thursday, July the 10th, 2025, and we're excited. We're excited for you. We're excited for humanity. We're excited for your planet, your plane of existence, for understand that on a plane of existence that has duality as a mechanism in support of the creation of experience, the endless, boundless potentials of experience that can be created on both ends of a spectrum and in between. Love and hate are two ends of the same spectrum, and they have varying degrees in between. And one can create in any of those spaces based on their belief systems and that which they have been conditioned to the moment with endless potential you can create in and around that spectrum, that single spectrum. So understand that you are on a plane of existence that operates with polarity, that has polarity built into it. So, with that being said, that which you see, that which you are perceiving through your media sources has to have an opposite, whether you see it greatly portrayed or not. That which you perceive and feel deeply about has to have an opposite on your plane of existence. Remember that. Know that. Continue to grow and expand and do your part as to the attempt to be the absolute brightest light you can with consistency. Be the brightest light in your home. Be the brightest light in the store. Be the brightest light in your job or career. Be the brightest light as a leader in your business. That's what you can do. Offer your light to the world and beyond in your meditations, in your prayers, whatever you want to call them. And know that you are being and creating a powerfully beautiful, positive effect. Know it. You may not see what you're doing on the other side of the world, but you are having an effect. Think about your quantum physics. Think about entanglement, quantum entanglement. One particle can be affected with thousands of miles in between its partner particle. But when you affect one, you affect the other simultaneously. And the same thing occurs with you when you're offering your vibrational expression. You are being an effect, creating an effect, being an impact. You have to know that. But play with in your personal life, observing how your vibration affects your creation. That's how you know if it's affecting it here, it has to affect it there. If I offer here and I see my impact or my effect on my spouse or partner, on my children, on my family, and our gatherings as it relates to me with the cashier at the store, if that's possible, and I see that it is, then in my meditation, when I offer my love and my light in the brightest and highest fashion to the world, it has to be impactful. So know that you're having an impact. Know that others are doing it as well. Know that on your plane of existence with polarity, that what you see portraying in your media sources has an opposite that is growing with similar strength. So, what are we talking about today? Today's topic is dis-ease is not a truth. Dis-ease is not a truth. Your belief makes it so. Another example. And we say another example because this is something that we've talked about before and we know you've heard before through other vessels, but we are going to talk about it again because it's very important. Dis-ease is not a truth. Your belief makes it so. All right. So just look out in nature. Look out in nature. Take your eyes off of humanity and look out in the areas of your plane of existence where or that are not as advanced, if you want to say that, not as aware, if you want to say that, those areas of your plane of existence that are pure expressions, right? An alligator is a pure expression of itself. A bear is a pure expression of itself. A bee, a yellow jacket, a hornet, is a pure expression of itself. A flower is a pure expression of itself without conflict, right? Without conflict. The being who is human, whose cognitive faculties are more advanced than any other organism on the planet, has the ability to counteract itself. You have the ability to counteract yourself. You have the ability to house ideas that contradict who you really are and what you really intend to create. You have the ability to believe in ideas and create experiences that are contrary to what you consciously say you desire. You want beautiful relationship, connection, alignment, harmony. But you have the ability to believe in ideas that cause you to create the opposite while simultaneously saying, I want this, which creates what? Creates a beautiful, powerful dynamic for growth and expansion in the creation of experience, not for you, not for you solely right now on your plane of existence for the brief period of time that you're going to be there, but for your soul's growth and expansion. The broader perspective. But understand that you're participating in a beautiful mechanism, a highly complex mechanism that powerfully serves its purpose of your individual growth and expansion. But when you look out in nature, in those areas, and into those organisms, those living conscious expressions that do not have the cognitive faculties that the being who is human has, you see pure expression. You see pure unique, authentic expression. And in that expression, you very, very rarely see dis-ease. Within those organisms that haven't been influenced by the mind of humanity that has conflict and resistance, that offers vibrational expressions based on low vibrational conflicting ideas to the truth and conflicting to desired experience. Those animals that are closest to you, that you love and that you keep in your homes, their energies are most affected by your belief systems. They can't tell you, hey, I believe in dis-ease, but the information is on the energies that you are expressing. And with them being in close proximity to you, they take on those energies and therefore become more and more susceptible to dis-ease, which is why you have your animal doctors and all of these things. But those animals, those plants, those insects, and everything in between, on the land, in the air, in the water, that are uninfluenced by humanity, for the most part, very rarely experience dis-ease because dis-ease is not a truth. The truth of source, fully, freely expressed, authentically expressed, is health and well-being. It can't be dis-ease. Dis-ease is a low vibrational idea that would equal the diminishing and depleting of resources, the diminishing and the depleting of particular groups of consciousness, i.e., species of animals, human beings. If dis-ease were a truth, the being who is human, the body, the vehicle that you house or that they house, would constantly be diminishing in numbers because dis-ease, sickness, dis-ease would be reducing the numbers down to zero. But it's not a truth, and that's why that's not the case. For the most part, most are healthy in large part and in large degree. Health is the dominant experience for the large part. Dis-ease is not until you come to believe in it more and more and more and more. Isn't it interesting how, as a being who is human gets older, there are certain break points in which, because they have observed as a child and growing up, they observe these points 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. They observe their older, more mature siblings, older, more mature family members go through these points and appear through their perspective and their information coming in through their sensory inputs that this happens at this age, this happens at this age, this becomes a problem at this age, this becomes a problem at this age. You probably can't walk well like you used to at this age. You're not standing up straight like you used to at this age. These things start to happen at this age. You even have your media sources that tell you these things are going to happen at this age. So you need to start checking. You need to start going to the doctor and checking this. You need to prepare for this. You need to buy that. And they're programming you to these things being issues, but they're not an issue until you believe it. If you believe that these type things start happening when you're 40, guess what? Those ideas get activated and they click in at that age. If you believe that these things start happening when you're 50, those ideas get activated and they click in when you turn 50. Then he's watched it. He has seen his family in multiple ways, older individuals, as he has seen their parents, his grandparents, and his parents and they walk in their stance, in their bodies, how they carry themselves, or the exact same way that their parents at that age carried themselves. Now, is that genetic or is that conditioning? And yet, disease is not a truth. If you did not believe in that, if you did not accept that fate, that destiny for yourself in the realm of health and well being, would it be a truth for you? But again, we suggest you look out in nature and see what's the truth. What's the truth of source? And if it's the truth of source, health and well being is the truth, then it's your truth as well. How much can you actually believe that? Can you make health and well being in every way a dominant idea to the point you begin to think the thoughts unconsciously and allow those thoughts to guide you specifically as an individual in the ways that are highest and best for you? Hey, eat this today. Hey, eat that today. Hey, this form of exercise, physical activity is fun for you today. And you follow it. Every day it may not be a steak. Tomorrow it may just be a salad. Can you follow it? Are you that sensitive to be aware of what your body's telling you is perfect for it? Or maybe it tells you not to eat for a week. Can you survive that long? Of course you can. But can you listen to your body and follow it as it guides you along the path of health and well-being that is a truth, and allow it to communicate to you of what's highest and best for you at the moment? Your ancestors did that. Those indigenous communities did that. They followed their body. They did it as individuals. They did it as communities. They were more at one with nature and the dominant ideas and the thought patterns and the feelings associated with the reverence that was felt for all, even the animals that they utilized as food. There was gratitude there. And the dominant ideas, the thought patterns, and the feelings were all in alignment with health and well being. And if a cold or something like that, a bacteria was able to get strong enough to actually affect the body, it didn't last long. And in those states of being, in operating off of those frames of mind, the body is able to adjust and navigate when anything is able to enter the body. Virus, viruses that are present, yes, they're on your plane of existence. Bacteria that are not great for the body, yes, they're on your plane of existence. But your body is equipped to handle that. Think about it. Your body is, at its core, protons, neutrons, electrons. A virus is the same. A bacteria is the same. Everything on your plane of existence comes from the same building blocks. So if everything comes from the same building blocks, it means that everything knows everything else. The body in its healthiest state knows the bacteria that can make it sick, knows the virus that can make it sick, which means at the same time that it has the ability to heal itself, to remove these things that are not supposed to be there. What hinders it is the belief in the ability to be sick, the belief in the ability to be damaged in that way. These ideas that you hold weaken the body. These ideas that you hold resist the body's ability to maintain a optimal health and well-being state that is able to fend off invading bacteria, virus ideas easily. But when you get in tune with your body and when you begin to establish the dominant ideas and remember that health and well-being is a truth, and begin to not accept any thought patterns or any ideas of dis-ease, standing firmly in the idea of health and well-being, then you can begin to be guided in that direction. But it starts with releasing the conditioning, understanding that you are conditioned to that, but that is not a truth. These are ideas that affect you constantly until you begin to separate yourself from them. And when you begin to separate yourself from them, you begin to see how they are present in most around you and how, in varying degrees, they believe so deeply in these ideas. Benny has family who know all of the different drugs, all of the different medicines. They take this for that, they take this, and he doesn't even know what these medicines are or what they're for. But in conversations, the medicines idea is thrown out as if everyone knows what these are and what their purpose is, as if it's normal. It's normal that this happens, and so you get this drug. It's normal that this happens, so you ask for this. You go to the store and get this, and he doesn't even know what does that mean. What is this? What is this? Well, he doesn't even ask what it is because he doesn't want to know. But they know the drugs. They know the medicine ideas as if it's a normal thing for this to be happening in the body. They've accepted that these things are normal. And so you take this medicine for it. But dis-ease is not normal. It's not a truth. Any ailment, anything that you have going on in your body, other than something that you may have been born with that was a part of the body at its inception, you can probably remember a time when were not affected by it. Then the question is, why am I affected by it now? I experience allergic reactions. Why do I experience allergic reactions? I used to could eat this food and now I can't. Why? This happens to me when I do this. Why? It didn't used to happen. It didn't happen before. When I was younger, it didn't happen. Why does it happen now? Why is the body not reacting in the same way as it used to? Why? But most just accept that it's the truth, and it's not. Most accept that I have to ingest something, put something in to affect the symptom versus seeking the root cause of it, which is internal, and addressing the internal beliefs and ideas that is allowing that to be true at the moment for you as an individual. Empty of resistance, empty of any inner conflict to health and well being, the body would take care of itself. But you're so powerful that your beliefs can allow for and create the environment for those beliefs to be true. If you believe in it, it can be true. If you believe in the ideas that create stress, the ideas that create consistent frustration, these ideas create a fertile ground in the body for the manifestations of dis-ease. Now think about that, what we're talking about. We're not just talking about any specific dis-ease. We're talking about ideas that create the ground for dis-ease. Ideas like fear, anything that falls under the idea of fear that causes you to release the chemicals related to fear, which in turn consistently released in the body. When there was a time when you were running from animals and having to defend your family from animals who were hungry, you had these ideas built in, this fight or flight, and the chemicals that were released into the body so that you could act quickly and with strength in order to preserve your mortality. The need for that is not as great now, but it's still there as a possibility within the body. And it still gets activated if you are in a state of insecurity about your relationship. Guess what? You're in that fight or flight idea, and you're constantly releasing the chemicals that were only supposed to be utilized for short periods of time. If you are constantly in a state of insecurity, constantly in a state of fear, and those chemicals are constantly being released in the body, these chemicals have adverse effects. They have a damaging effect. They weaken your immune system and its ability to fend off disease. And not just that, they have a negative effect on the body, period. Its functioning, its ability to operate and to reproduce at a cellular level. It affects all of that, which equals fertile ground for disease. So if you're constantly in a state of stress, you're constantly in a state of insecurity, whether it's you're talking about government or you're talking about your partner. You're insecure about your partner in your relationship or your marriage, and you're feeling that feeling. Your body is releasing chemicals that's creating fertile ground for disease in the body. Constantly in fear, constantly sick, unable to get rid of colds or disease appearing within the body makes sense. But you have to ask the question, why? So that you can begin to unravel these things and work your way to the root cause and not just agree to affect the symptoms of a cause. Disease is not a truth. Health and well being is a truth. You can see it out in nature. Align yourself with the ideas that you perceive to be truth in nature and notice the changes that occur within you, first at a thought level, second at a feeling, vibrational level. Observe that which you are inspired to begin to create as behaviors and habits once you begin to establish these ideas, and then notice the changes in your body as you align yourself more and more with the truth of you in source, which is health and well-being in the highest fashion that you can imagine. So these are the ideas that we have to offer today. If you have questions, if you have comments, if you were inspired to an idea that you would like to discuss, feel free to place those in the chat and we will take a few moments to discuss those. Hey, Catherine. Catherine says, so now that the stairs hurt my knees, I have manifested the belief that everyone in my family has arthritis. It's possible that you observe these ideas. It's possible. I mean, the idea of arthritis is something that is portrayed on your news as a truth, portrayed on your media sources as a truth. And if you have seen the effects of this idea in family, it's possible that this is a dominant idea that is now activated. that these type challenges occur at, whatever age that you are. And most people accept these ideas, but you don't have to accept these ideas. Think about it. The body can regenerate itself. It's constantly regenerating itself. When you're told that this has happened to the body and you are, it's something that you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life, blah, blah, blah. How is that true? When everybody knows that the cells are reproducing and that given a specific period of time, everyone has a brand new body at the cellular level. So if everyone has a brand new body at the cellular level because of cellular reproduction that is constantly occurring, why does any form of dis-ease continue? How and why does the source of arthritis continue? How and why does the source of the cartilage in your knees have done a thing? Or your joints have done a thing? Or your skin is doing a thing? How does it continue when the cells are constantly reproducing and you have a new body within a specific period of time? Every being who is human has a new body at the cellular level. The only way dis-ease is held in place is because the ideas make it so. Everyone think about that. How does a dis-ease stay in position when the cells are reproducing constantly? Every cell, every organ, the blood, the cells are reproducing. And given a specific period of time, you have a brand new body. How does any level of dis-ease remain consistent in position? The belief in it holds it in position. That's how powerful you are, holding an idea in place even as the body reproduces. And we understand that that's deep, but you have to ride with us. You have to ride with us, and you have to look to the center of these ideas for yourself. How is that possible? How do I still feel this had this soreness in my wrist for an extended period of time when my cells are reproducing, and we're not sure of the time frame, but there is a specific time frame that at the cellular level you have a brand new body. How is this pain or this dis-ease in this specific joint continuing when it's not the same joint as it was a year ago? Think about it. What's holding it in position? Thank you for that statement, Catherine. Soul sign, Christine here. No question. Just wanted to say thank you for this talk. Statement about pure, authentic expression in nature, not displaying dis-ease certainly meant just for me. Excellent. It's there. It's there. The evidence is there. The evidence of the truth is all around you. But it takes the awareness and the searching for it to reveal itself. Otherwise, the conditioning, the dominant ideas that we have been conditioned to, humanity has been conditioned to, that lie in the mind of humanity, will mask it. It's how you can read pages in a book and see one thing, and somebody else reads the same pages and sees something else. Your mentality, your mental framework allows you to see based on what you already believe to be true. And you didn't see what you don't believe to be true. And that's how individuals can live an entire lifetime believing in what humanity is saying is true, when you look outside your window in nature, it's not. It's not for the squirrel, it's not for the rabbit, it's not for the tree, it's not for the fish, it's not for anything that is purely authentically itself in nature, uninfluenced by the mind of humanity. And when you begin to look there, you begin to see all of the discrepancies in the things that you believe that are not true in nature. The truth of source is manifest in nature all the time, which is your truth. Think about it. Think about how a plant doesn't consider or take into account the next plant for its expression. But so many beings who are human consider everyone else and how they might affect or what everyone else is thinking, and allows that to dim their ability to be authentic and to be fully, freely expressed. Fox doesn't do that. A rabbit doesn't do that. A tree doesn't do that. A flower doesn't do that. Which means full, free expression is the truth. That's what allows you to breathe deeply and fully. That's what allows you to be at peace with yourself. Because each one of you have had experiences where you wish you had said X, you wish you would have done Y. You felt it, but you didn't say it. You felt it, but you didn't do it. And so you left feeling angry with yourself, frustrated with yourself for not being that which was asking to be breathed through you authentically. I might hurt their feelings. They might see me as being mean. They might see me as being too confident or cocky. All the while you're bridling yourself. And when you're bridling yourself, you can't ever create the life that you are intending because you're bridling yourself from the start. You've got the brakes on. You've got governors on your engine from the start. Benny's dad is a mechanic. Used to talk about how buses have governors on them so they can't go over a certain speed. And most of humanity has been conditioned to governors, has been conditioned to their parking brake being on while they're trying to drive at the greatest speed that they can to the success, to the desires that they have for themselves in their life. But the parking brake is on. And if you know for a fact that you're not being authentic, that you're not breathing your most unique self, and you have seen those expressions bubble up inside of you and experience, but you have shut them down, then you have the brakes on. You have the brakes on. And sometimes you have to swing on, you have to move, you have to go all the way to the right in order to find the center. You can't inch your way. We don't suggest that you inch your way because that takes a long time. You might have to swing all the way from hesitation and insecurity and reach for extreme confidence that may hurt feelings, maybe, maybe not if you're in the high vibration and you're just trying to be the best that you can be in order to come back and find your center. But how quickly can you become authentic? How quickly can you become the full free expression of your most unique self in a high frequency? The truth of you in source as is expressed in nature, and step out of all of the conditioning and the beliefs that the mind of humanity has given you. How fast can you do that? That's the question. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Catherine, thank you regarding opposites. I've been telling myself that things I think are hard are easy. I've been saying it every day and it has been amazing. Yes, it's all about perspective, it's all about belief. If you believe something to be hard, it will be. It will be challenging. There will be conflict all on the inside, all barriers, all walls that you have established for yourself because of the belief that something is hard, that something is complicated. But when you say it's, and think about how that feels. That feels heavy, that feels weighted, which means that answers, solutions, next steps all have all of this jumbled up marsh and mud and slime in between, is in between you and the next steps and the solutions and the possibilities that are there. But when you say it's easy and you believe that it's easy for you because you have magnificent capacity and you are connected to everything that you desire right now, but there may be a time lag because of your plane of existence has time and space, and there is, what's the word, we lost it, there is what is it called, the the weight, the weight, high frequency, low frequency, and something being lighter, heavier. Gracious, we can't think of the word now. But something coming into the physical and having mass, there can be a time lag. But knowing that you are source and that everything exists now and that everything is present now, and knowing that yes, things can be easy, sometimes things can take some time, but sometimes things can happen immediately based on your intention. Knowing that, being in that energy that is light and fun and excited for the next step, excited for the answer, excited for the comings, what's becoming, excited for who you are becoming as a result of that which you are intending and who you need to be in order to fully own that. That energy allows things to move quickly for you. So, as one who's aspiring to be a powerful conscious creator, you want to lean into things being easy, lean into things being fun, lean into things being exciting, because that's the energy that allows things to move at as quick a rate, as fast a rate as is perfect for that particular idea thing for you. Thank you for that, Catherine. Anyone else? Excellent. Excellent. All right. So, again, we are thankful for each of you who have participated, supported us in the creation of this interaction. This is amazing. This is amazing. The interaction brings out and feels out the ideas. The interaction brings and feels out these ideas. And we hope that you receive value from this. Now, and this is through chat. This is through the chat. Now imagine the depth through actual conversation, right? If you find value here, be sure to register for the conscious discussions. And when you are inspired and able to jump in there, jump in. Jump in. We're excited for each of you. We love you very much. We will be back tomorrow, Friday, July the 11th. Have a fantastic day, and we will talk to you soon.